Freestyle Travel. Hey everybody, this is the Freestyle Travel Show and I'm your host, Kenny Flannery. This episode I'll be interviewing Julie Butler, my mother. And I'm here with her and my brother right now in Alpine, Wyoming, where she's living now, for Turkey Day. So, still Wyoming, except the last episode I was closer to the Colorado border in the South Wyoming, watching a ranch. A friend of a friend put me in touch with this couple, and they needed somebody to watch their dog and 2 cats while they were away. And they didn't end up, they weren't gone the whole time. They were there kind of off and on. So I was getting a lot of writing done, and while they were gone, I was walking and feeding the dog and the cats and stuff. Pretty cool spot. Not as cold as I thought it was going to be. So that was good, but a little bit of snow here and there. And just a lot of writing every day, eating pretty good food, walking around. Pretty old ranch, like a lot of structures on there, a lot of cabins. So I had my own kind of little cabin, wood burning stove, and then there's their main cabin, which had like a little office and kitchen and bedroom and stuff. And then this great big house with 5 or 6 bedrooms. And a bunch of other little cabins, some with kitchens, and they rent them out in the summertime. They're not all winterized, so. But pretty chill. Kind of the same thing every day. Wake up, make some coffee, get a little writing done, cook some meals, get some more writing done. So just a lot of that. And then finally, when she got back, I hitchhiked the next day up to Alpine, which is close to Jackson. Just about 40 minutes, an hour south of Jackson, home of Melvin Brewing, one of the best breweries on the planet. Is actually, you can kind of see it from the house, actually, so it's really close, like a 5-minute drive. So we've made a few trips over there, drank some really good beer. Gonna drink some more today, being Turkey Day. We picked up some 4-packs last night. It's gonna be freaking delicious. So yep, that's pretty much the score. It was a simple hitchhike to get up to here. Bunch of rides. My mom, being my mom, kind of freaked out, so she'll talk about that here in a second. I interviewed her the other day in the car, where I'm sitting in the car right now, just in the garage. And I interviewed her on the way to Idaho Falls. We were picking up my brother at the airport, and she'll get into how she kind of overreacted that I didn't have cell service while I'm hitching up and over to here. But some good rides. Some guy in a trailer going to Salt Lake. It was one of the longer ones. Pretty good stuff all together. And happy to be here, and I'll be here for another few days. But let me introduce you to my mom, Julie Butler. We're in.
What do I say?
You're saying it right now. Why don't you tell everyone what you did 2 days ago?
Well, Kenny left the ranch at 10:30 in the morning. If he were driving, it would take maybe 5 hours, so I expected at least 6, 7. But after speaking to him at 10 o'clock, there was no communication, no text, no call. It sucked. So around 2:30, I got really worried. Called his friend, or got in touch with his friend Shauna.
Yeah.
California, because she's the one who hooked him up with this ranch. She called the ranch lady for me, which didn't yield anything too comforting, because all she did was say, I dropped him off around 10:30. There isn't much cell service. But I just imagined him dead on the road. Or out in the cold, just like frozen.
Instead of thinking, maybe there's no cell service.
Well, I know there's no cell service. I mean, but it's sketchy. I figured when you got to Rock Springs, you'd be nice and let your mother know. But no, nothing. So, after speaking to the lady Kim from the ranch, I called Highway Patrol to see if there had been any accidents involving a Ken Flannery.
Jesus.
They said no. But if you don't hear from him in 2 or 3 hours, maybe you should put a missing persons report.
That would have been so fucked up. Cops are pulling me off the road.
I don't know if you got hit by a vehicle or some trucker or some redneck decided to, I don't
Yeah,
Love
like
you
I
again.
say, from now on you wait a week.
No, I'm not gonna wait a freaking week when you're supposed to be there on a day.
Wait a week before you start ringing alarms.
Oh my God, freaking out. It's like 4 o'clock, 4:30, nothing. I had to take 2 like anti-anxiety pills at the same time. And then, no sooner had I drugged myself up than calls.
Yep.
Oh, hi, I'm an hour and a half away.
Still alive.
Sorry, still alive. And then of course it was dark and no rides were showing up, so I drove out to get him in Daniel
Junction.
Junction.
Damn.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there's like a restaurant there.
Yeah, true.
So it worked.
But yeah, it sucks. 10 years. He started this right after his older brother, the Marine, had gotten back from his 3rd deployment, and I'm like, oh, thank God. I can just exhale, and then, oh no, I'm gonna hitchhike. Which I thought would be maybe, okay, he's 22, a couple of years, get his yayas out, but no.
So which one of us do you worry about more?
You.
Me?
Yes.
What about Jess? Yep.
No. I only worry about, I don't want to get into it, but no, I don't worry much about her.
Jack.
No.
Losing it. See you.
Well, yeah, I worry because he was in a blackout and fell down his frat stairs a couple years ago. So I do worry about that whole drinking thing, but he's not in the middle of nowhere. And but thank God, in the beginning of this journey of Kenny's, there was, Facebook 10 years ago? Obviously there was, but
Yeah.
I didn't get on until 2 years after you had started your journey.
Yeah.
But now I can hopefully follow. But when I don't see you posting for a couple weeks, I think I have on occasion called your dad.
Just to see if I've been in touch with
Got
him.
in touch with Larry in, where's he? Scottsdale, right?
Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like...
It's another eagle's nest up there.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Just sort of... It's like, where the hell is he? But...
Oh, we're on the road right now to pick up my little brother. There's a beautiful reservoir to our left. Pretty cool.
Palisades Reservoir, folks, in Idaho.
I used to have that map on Hobo Lifestyle. The map on HoboLifestyle.com.
Yeah.
Did you ever look at that? It would update my location to the city level.
No, I need to do that.
I don't have it anymore.
Oh, you do? Okay. I thought trip hopping you kind of had something, didn't you?
Trip hopping I would update manually as to where I was, but on Hobo Lifestyle it was the Google Latitude is what it was called at the time.
Oh.
So my phone still is always leaving breadcrumbs as to where I'm at.
Well, this time in year overseas, you were a lot better about posting stuff.
Yeah.
It seems, but then that first time, 2011, 10, 11,
2011 is when I went to New Zealand, Australia, Thailand.
Yeah, that whole trip.
Yeah.
I guess you weren't that bad at even calling,
Yeah.
which was always kind of nice. And he is the first kid usually to get in touch with me on Mother's Day.
There you go.
This year is in Australia, which was a day ahead, so bonus points for calling the day before. That was my birthday, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, birthday and Mother's Day, even though he's all over the frickin' world, makes up for it.
Well, this year I got that Project Fi, so I have service. I had it everywhere but Nepal, actually, this year.
So that's because of your new Google phone?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Project Fi.
Okay.
So if anyone else wants to sign up, the promo code is TDW3EE, and then I get $20 off.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Pretty sweet.
Nice. Plus, if you click on his website on the Amazon links, he gets a piece of the pie.
That is
Or
true.
not just the clicks. I guess you have to buy something.
No, yeah, people click any of the stuff I link to, and then they buy that or anything, actually. Then I get a percentage of the sale. So if they click through some shoes, but they end up buying a
Yeah.
$20 book or something, I get a couple bucks or something.
Yeah. And I have a website, TetonCountyKids.com, of which none of you are parents, but so I got that same thing, but nobody frickin' does anything. So no money for me.
It's slow going.
Yeah. Was yours slow at the beginning too?
It was faster than Google AdSense. Did you ever use Google AdSense?
No.
You know what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. So you just paste in like a piece of code and they generate ads to show to people.
Yeah. I should do that. I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make as much as the Amazon stuff, because the Amazon stuff I'm actually linking the cool like shoes and sleeping bags.
Well, mine is harder because it's kid stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It works pretty good.
People with kids in Jackson are pretty broke.
Yeah. So, did you travel? Did you ever hitchhike?
No. Well, I might have a couple times just around town when in Connecticut, Westport.
Oh, just like from school to home or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. But no.
Did you ever road trip with friends or anything? Like cross country?
Yeah. Graduated from college and drove from Connecticut across the country, Southern California to Northern California, and then across the northern part of the country. And that's actually where I discovered Wyoming, how much I loved it, which was weird.
Okay.
Drove through Cheyenne.
Cheyenne?
I know, but coming out of Cheyenne, there's some really pretty mountains, and
That's awesome.
Yeah. You'll see the dam on the other side.
Yeah.
I was just immediately enamored, and in my 22-year-old head, thought that might be somewhere I'd like to move someday. And at the ripe old age of 58, finally I don't know how old I am. Yeah. Did it, got divorced 5 years ago, and at that point everybody was out west. Kenny, basically, you just spent a lot of time out west, so
Yeah.
seemed like, okay, go and live the dream, and as he would say, good times.
Yes, indeed. Were you alone on that road trip, or did you have friends?
No, when I was 22 after college, yes, I had a girlfriend from school.
Yeah.
But then at age 25, I decided I had a broken heart, and so decided to move to Los Angeles, and that I did all by myself.
Yeah.
Which...
Did you just drive straight through, or are you making a point to stop?
No, I stopped at people's from college, mostly college friends across the country.
Yeah.
And then I would just stay in hotels. I took my time.
Yeah.
With whatever clothing, and I had a rocking chair. Back of my little...
just to pull off the side of the road and rock out for a bit?
It was like the only thing I was bringing to Los Angeles to have. That was fun. I didn't sleep on the guy's couch, but a friend from college slept he actually gave up his bedroom for me for like a month or so until I could find a place. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then a college roommate moved out with me. And then I met Kenny's dad like 4 months after moving there.
How long were you there altogether?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Because Blake was born like the last few months, Blake was born out there, and we moved. Because Kenny's dad lost his job. Sorry, he's probably listening. That's not nice. Sorry, Kev.
Jeez.
Poor Kevin. I forced you to marry me. Sorry.
Jeez. So you moved to Bronxville at that point, or?
Yeah, because your dad or Kevin, whatever, owned like a condo place there in a building.
Cool.
So we moved there, and we're there for another, how old are you? A little over 2 years. And got divorced, so moved out. to Harrison, New York. I'd done also the cross country thing. Obviously, when I was 22 and 25, would do some investigating up and down the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Never out of. I would love to see Seattle and Portland and all that. But, and then, of course, we drove cross country. When we left LA, drove cross country with little baby Blake at 2 months old.
Oh, okay.
Which was more of a straight shot, but we did stop. Saw some pretty places.
Yeah.
When stayed in Vegas, Blake was in a little front pouch. We went into a casino and did the slots, won $100.
Yeah.
they came over like, oh, okay. Hey, get that kid out of here. They're not allowed. Like, it's 2 months freaking old. Anyway.
Little baby. They waited until you won?
They didn't see it, I guess. I don't know. Blake. So we took our $100 and we're like, okay. So that was kind of a fun thing.
Well, now you're kind of like, you're not traveling, but the same like attitude as people who are traveling. That you're just like free to go cruising around in the Jeep and
we're driving in a Jeep Rubicon that I got 7 months ago, and it has almost 13,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Because we go into the backcountry here in Wyoming, Jackson Hole area, like way back. Spend sometimes 10, 11 hours doing that. Kenny's uncle, named Uncle Kenny, my brother, died two get all clumped 2 years ago, and I quit my job and decided to be more free and enjoy life. Because this Kenny told me years ago, like, every day I want you to do something cool, different, and daring. Well, try to do that every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Weren't you done? I mean, I guess now you have the house in Alpine, but you were talking about getting like RV or something?
Oh, yeah. In May, right after I bought this Jeep in Idaho Falls, there was a huge RV place. So we went in just to look at camper trailers.
Yeah.
To put on the back of this, and then I saw, big ass RVs. And was like, let me just look at those. And so that was like for a couple weeks, a month, convinced that that's what I should do because I could afford that instead of a house, see the country. My fiance, Chris, has never really gone anywhere in the country. And I called Kenny to get his blessing. And you said cool because I could visit you and get a ride at the same time.
Perfect. So is that totally shot down or something on the back burner?
No, it's something on the back burner for sure.
Yeah.
What we thought we'd do was, go into towns. My fiance's a carpenter. He could bang nails somewhere for a week or two or a month. So we'd have some money. And then go somewhere else, do the same thing. But then, I don't know, I think Chris kind of chickened out. He won't listen to this, so I can say that.
Nice.
And, I guess it's... Anyway, I can write anywhere like you do.
Yeah.
And get paid.
Yeah.
So...
Are you still hooked up to the newspaper or anything in town?
Yeah, I freelance for the News and Guide sometimes once or twice a month.
Yeah.
And currently editor of Jackson Hole Traveler, which requires my time anywhere from 1 to sometimes 20 hours a week. Not much.
Okay.
But it's...
And you just do it from your laptop?
From my laptop.
Yeah.
I go into the office for meetings, but that's it. And it's cool because they hired me because I have both. I still have kind of a new visitor hat on still and a local, so get both perspectives. But I think they're looking for someone younger, hipper, knows how to do quote-unquote content marketing better than me, which is fine. Because like Kenny, I'm working on a book.
Yep. What'd you think about getting the trailer while you still live here and then going on like a 6-month trip or a summer trip or something like that?
Definitely. I mean, I'm broke because of buying a house and this new fancy car.
Yeah.
But save up money and it'd be great to have a little camper trailer, even if it's just a little sucker.
Yeah. And
travel. And definitely. Worst case, 10 years. Well, I'll be kind of old. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Maybe 10 years, just rent the Alpine house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like even 6 months out of the year, like the summer.
Yeah.
And then, the winter, sorry. And then come back in the summer when it's awesome here.
Yeah.
In the Tetons. So, that's definitely something. I guess mostly me, because I'm stupid, didn't count on the fact that like, oh great, no overhead, buy this outright. But of course you gotta pay to hook up.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. I thought it was all free. Of course, there are spots, anywhere probably in the country where you don't have to necessarily hook up for the night or.
Well, no, you're only
2 or
hooking up
3.
if you need, electricity or
Right.
plumbing stuff. If you avoid using the shower so much
Yeah.
in the trailer, and like you can use showers at truck stops and other spots,
Yeah.
even campsites.
Because when we're way the frick back in the back country, there are big ass RVs there. It's free.
Yeah.
Grand Teton National Park, it's not free, but in
BLM land all throughout
Yep.
Utah for sure. You can be parking
Yep.
wherever. So,
So-
Walmart parking lots.
yeah, because it'd be great just to kind of be Kenny, but in style with a vehicle.
Has he picked up any more hitchhikers lately?
We did. I've picked up a few. I dropped Kenny off. I don't know what year it was. Somewhere in Wyoming, and there was an older guy hitchhiking, so I got him, and he's been doing it for, 20 years. It was quite smelly, but really cool guy. And once I dropped you off somewhere out of Bozeman, remember? Anyway, and then I picked up a hitchhiker who was going the complete opposite way that I was going, but I thought if I pay it forward, maybe Kenny will get a ride. I don't know, just good karma. But a few months ago, there was a skanky-looking woman hitching, but
Where was it?
at Hoback Junction.
Skank at Hoback.
She was a skank, but I was like, oh, let's, actually Chris said it, let's be nice and pick her up, but she was batshit crazy. So we pretended. And we were going far, like past Pinedale. She didn't know where she wanted to go.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't want to have this random woman in the car because she's so crazy.
Yeah.
So we kind of lied and said we were going to Granite Hot Springs, which was not, it's only like 20 minutes past Hoback
Okay.
Junction. Dropped her off. But and there was a young man pretty recently who had a sign out. He was hitching with a dog, which I can't imagine you get much rides with a dog, right?
I think it's fewer, but there are some people who specifically stop if you have a dog.
Yeah, he had a dog, and he was at the corner of the highway and grocery store, Smith's.
Okay.
Had a sign that said, help, I need food. So I went and got some random snacks and drinks and little doggy treats. Said my son, told him about you briefly, and
He wasn't looking for a ride? He just
I
wanted...
said, do you want to ride? I said, I'm really actually not going that far to my house, but I could continue on to Hoback Junction where you'd get, there's major roads.
Yeah.
He, for some reason, was more interested in food, even though had his backpack and his dog. I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah. Maybe he was just hanging around Jackson.
I think he wanted more food.
People, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I guess like what people do to you, I kind of quickly try to assess if I don't know, most people in Jackson, though, they're cool.
Yeah.
And that one guy I picked up, I mean, he was interesting because he'd been doing it so long, but I could definitely not, the smell was pretty bad.
Where is he coming
He was
from?
going to, where was it I dropped you? Like, going off to, in Riverton?
I think that time I was going to South Dakota, so
Yeah.
it must have been, heading
I thought
up
it was
towards 90
Riverton.
or something.
So I picked him up, and I was going to Du Bois to Jack's camp, just to visit or something.
Right.
So I said, I'm only going to Du Bois. And then I told him I was going to see my son. He was like, well, and then I'm going to Jackson. So he said, oh, can I tag along? So he went with me up to Teton Valley Ranch Camp.
Really?
Yeah, sat in the car for an hour or so.
Sat in the car?
Sat in the car.
What were you, just scooping Jack up, or do you
No,
have like
I was
a,
just like visiting him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they don't usually let you visit. I don't know what the occasion was, but visiting him, and the guy sat in the car. Jack was like, who's this, kind of bum in the car, and then continued on and dropped him at the library in Jackson.
He was going to Jackson? Or, I mean, he was now. But...
Well, he was that. I guess like you, it was like, okay, take me anywhere. I don't know, it was odd.
I usually have a place that I'm going, even if I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Need to
think
be
he's just take me wherever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was, but he was interesting, and he actually had a blog page which I went to.
He emailed me or something, that guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Must have
I
given
kind
him
of
my
somehow
info.
got you guys in touch with each other. Maybe I wrote down your website or something.
I've noticed though, like having an actual destination is way better than just nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's like that skank that you just dropped off like wherever because she didn't tell you where she was going.
Yeah. Oh, actually, sorry, I've been remembering another guy who I knew. He's a musician in town, and he was hitchhiking in the canyon, Snake River Canyon. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Chan Man. It was this Peter Chandler, and I'd interviewed him for other stories.
Ah.
So I pull over and I'm like, hey, it's Julie Butler, News and Guide, and he just randomly hitches sometimes.
Okay.
From
Just
the
across
river.
town.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I dropped him. I was going home, but I dropped him in town.
Hmm.
Yeah. He just sort of goes down to the river and fishes, and sometimes brings his car, sometimes just hitchhikes.
Ah. Yeah, one time I was in Mississippi with my friend there in Biloxi, and we picked up a hitchhiker, and we were just going like a town or two over to go get some beers, check out this brewery.
Oh.
But that guy also had like no destination. We're like, do you want us to drop you off in town or like up at the highway? Like, where are you going? He's like, whatever. But like, if he had an actual destination, if he was just like, I need to be, or I want to be in this part of Florida, then I don't know, we probably would have been like, well, why don't you come grab some beers with us and hang out for a bit, and then we can drop you off at the highway afterwards or something. Like,
Yeah.
and it could have been sort of a cool afternoon for him, but instead we're like, all right, I guess we'll just drop you off here.
Here. Yeah, I can't. I felt good that in that Montana drop, I forget when that was. I had dropped you off so you could hitch at that ramp. I was going to Chico Hot Springs.
Okay.
It was out of Bozeman, and I went to the gas station and spied to make sure you got a ride. I don't care how old you are, I'm a mother. And then I went in to get a soda or something, and then I saw a guy waiting there like you were.
Yeah.
And clearly I was not going east. I was going to go back to Chico, check in. I drove the guy for an hour.
Yeah. Nice.
Because people have been so nice to you.
Yeah, people have done that. You remember that guy when I was with Bridget? He picked us up in Kingman, Arizona.
Oh my God, yeah, and then he came to our house like Christmas time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he picked us up in
He was
Arizona,
there for the Christmas party, wasn't he? Or did he leave before
I think
that?
he left before that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he picked us up in Arizona and said he was going to Michigan. But then around Tennessee, he's like, fuck it, I've never been to New York City before. So yeah, he drove us all the way to Connecticut.
Yeah.
And then he drove us into the city the next day because Bridget had never been there either.
Oh, yeah.
So I showed him around all this, Times Square, Central Park, subway ride kind of stuff. Quick day tour.
Yeah, wasn't he like newly divorced or something and kind of lost?
Something was,
emotionally
I don't
lost.
know what the deal was with his lady, but his story was that his job had forced him to take a vacation because he said he never took a vacation.
That's right.
And they gave him the gas card. But I think they thought he was going to maybe head up to the Upper Peninsula or something.
Yeah.
But no, he drove from Michigan to Seattle, down through California to Arizona, picked
then
us up all the way to New York.
Didn't he lose his job because he was spending so much on the card?
Well, yeah, because then he was going to head back to Michigan from New York, but he missed a turn, and instead of just taking a U-turn, he's like, screw it, I'll just continue down all the way to Florida. But then he was spending the night in one of the Carolinas in a Walmart parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when the company called and cut off the gas card because not only was he burning up the gas card, but he could use it 3 times a day.
Uh-huh.
And he would use it twice a day, and then the third time he would wait until someone was paying cash. And then he'd go and, so if they were getting $20 in gas, he'd be like, why don't you get 25 and just give me $20 and I'll pay for it for you.
Oh, okay.
With the card. So he's totally scamming it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they shut him down, and then his paycheck got rerouted to his dad's place or something. He was stuck in the Carolinas for a few days.
Oh my God.
It's weird.
Yeah, well, you get definitely, I have to use my hair color a lot more. Hair coloring to keep the grays
Yeah.
away. Like when the whole Peru thing. Was it Peru?
Where I got mugged?
With a mugging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, fuck that. No. Stop it. And I did with the whole pretend or almost kidnapping with the Mexicans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I You're like, oh, I'll just hitchhike back to. I'm like, no, we're flying you up.
Yeah, but it's mostly good times.
I guess. Except when I read your blogs. I'm like, that happened?
Yeah. Well, even some of the bad stuff like isn't so bad anymore. Like when I get picked up by like truck drivers all methed out, like I don't even freak out anymore.
Didn't one try to like come onto you or something? Or a couple?
Yeah, several.
Yeah.
But there was one dude. He was just somewhere around Arizona, and then we stopped at a gas station. And he was in the back, and then he's just like, "Yeah, I gotta put the meth in my ball sack so my PO doesn't see."
My God.
He's like, "You want some meth? It makes you real horny."
I'm like,
I'm like, "No, I'm good." He's like, "How about some fried chicken then?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fried chicken sounds
is
better."
that been in your ball sack? Or?
No.
Oh, and how about the guy that want to have some sex? Have you done that thing of that already?
I don't know.
Podcast thingy?
Nah, it's on the blog somewhere.
I love that.
Yeah.
Story.
I forget where that was now.
Want to have sex?
Arkansas or something, but yeah, I never even got in his car because he
No
just
way.
pulled over.
Yeah.
He's like,
No way.
rolled down the window. How about some sex? Like, no, I'm good, man. No way.
No way.
No way. No, I'm good, man.
Has that happened other times? Like, just creepy men?
There's a dude in Pennsylvania, same thing. He just rolled up with the window down. He's like, "Hey, you want to get your dick sucked?" I'm like, "Not by you, I'm good." He's
Sure.
like, "You sure?" God, genuinely confused. It's
Oh
like,
my God. Oh my God.
But those ones are better than actually getting in the car and then they drop something like that on you and you're already like cruising. So it's just awkward for mostly them at this point because it's happened to me a bunch, so I'm kind of used to handling it. But still, for them, it's like
It's scary for me to hear these things, especially when you first started. And didn't some bum come up to you on the beach in Venice when you were sleeping? And,
oh yeah, well it turns out that was like a gay walking beach or whatever. So a few things happened on that beach. One was some dude, I actually asked him if he wanted a sip of wine because he was just standing there and I'm like, I got a whole bottle of wine. And then we were talking for like 20-30 minutes and then he asked me if I wanted to get my dick sucked.
I thought the first time actually you woke up and the guy was trying to rob you, or
I forget which happened first, but yeah, it was either the next night or the night before. There was a guy going through my bag.
that was definitely when it first started, because I remember talking to my college roommates, or I was with them on a reunion, and you told me, what in the hell is happening?
Yeah, but he thought I was like not a person. I'm pretty sure.
Not a person?
I think he thought, because I was in a bivvy sack, I think he thought it was just a big pile of beach treasure.
Oh, okay.
Because I scared the crap out of him when I moved and like put my head up. So, went running away.
Jesus.
And the beachcomber came one of those nights too.
Oh.
I heard that like roaring towards me.
Oh my God.
Horseshoed around me, so it was okay.
One nice thing last fall was your guy couch surfer you'd stayed with, KP. Yeah, came and visited. Came over to. He was in Jackson.
Yeah, I just saw him.
Came over for some
this month.
beverages and stuff. That was kind of fun.
Any of my other friends dropped into Jackson? Maybe not.
No. I think that's the only.
No.
I think that's the only one.
I guess I've had a couple other friends drop in when I've been here.
Yeah.
I met up with a friend from beer camp once here.
Yeah. I don't know if I met that person.
Probably not. There's another girl I
How
knew
about
from Flagstaff who's working at the recycling plant.
Oh.
And she might still live there, I'm not sure.
And there was some girl that either came with you once and stayed at the Teton Club, or...
Oh, that was Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Back from New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys had hitched together then? Or...
No, I think that's right before I got... Oh, that's right when I was getting on the road. Because we drove out
Oh, that's right.
together and then she flew out
Yeah.
for like a week or two.
Yeah. And I liked those few times before I moved here, driving out with you and Jesse and Charlotte
Yeah.
at one time, and then Jack and Jess and I did that twice, I think. And that was, it's fun just to see different parts and take a different route.
Yeah.
And of course, when I moved out here 3 years ago, we drove. Chris drove with me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's nice to actually see the country instead of flying right over it.
yeah. And even though Nebraska's boring as hell, we've, found some fun go-karts and
Yeah.
did that. I hadn't done go-karting since I was a kid.
Have you ever been to I think it's the Mall of America, or like the biggest
Yes.
mall?
Drove Jesse and Jack out. Jesse went to camp, and then Jack went back east with John, and then so I drove Jesse back east, and that was our destination.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she was like, I don't know, 11 or 12.
Yeah.
That's a cool place.
They've got like a Ferris wheel in there and
Yeah.
stuff. It's supposed to be crazy.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
So you got any trips planned for the next 6 months or so, or I mean, besides like day trips?
Yeah. No, I'd like to. Like I said, I could afford like even a used little trailer. That'd be fun for the summer.
Yeah.
The other, Chris hasn't like seen the ocean in I don't know how long. So I'd love to like go, even if it's California or even. I've never been to the Caribbean, although it's blown away, right? Right now it's all destroyed. I've never been there.
You should hit the coast, go up Oregon, Washington. That'd be cool.
That's true.
Northern
yeah.
California,
I don't think
redwoods.
it's really too far, right? From here?
No, I mean probably. I think Reno's like more than 8 hours. I don't know. You could do it in a day, probably 2 days for sure.
Yeah, or maybe break it up and.
Yeah, you could stop in Tahoe or something.
Yeah, oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I think
And you've got friends in Salt Lake, right? You could stop there and then you'd be on I-80 and then just gun it on over.
Yeah, that'd be nice because I'd never seen that, and I've got some friends from Jackson who used to live up in Seattle.
Yeah.
Travel back there. So.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to say to the freestyle travelers?
Well, if any of you have hosted Kenny, thank you very much. Appreciate it a lot. And it's fun to kind of read about, it's fun to read about y'all. So, keep on trucking or
Being awesome.
being awesome and living vicariously through this kid of mine. So,
All right.
yep, that's it.
Cool.
Good times.
Thanks, Mother. That's kind of cool doing episodes like that. Like that one and the episode I did with my friend Mark in New York City. Just people who've known me since before I was traveling. Obviously my mother and Mark. So I'll do some episodes like that here and again. Kind of cool to get their perspective. From here in Wyoming, I'll be heading to California, north and south. Probably by way of Salt Lake City. Drink some good beers. Kind of like that city, just the way it looks. Got some friends there. So that'll be fun. Don't know what the next episode's going to be. But maybe something in California. Find something good. So you can always keep track of what I'm doing, more or less, through Hobo Lifestyle, .com or through the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Posting pictures here and there. And see what's going on. Sometimes people reach out to me either from the blog or the show, and I'm like coming nearby to where they're at, or they're not too far off the path that I'm on, and meet some people sometimes. So it's always cool. But look forward to doing the next episode, and looking forward to doing some more travel. Alright, I will see you all down the road.
With all my shit straight, I'll get my big brain.